Hello and welcome to my Alaska tours, continuing flights. This is part 6. We are at Kodiak. Our destination is Adak, out in the Aleutian Island chain. It's about 900 miles or thereabouts. And we have aircraft on runway 26 here at Kodiak. We'll be departing pretty much straight out, and we'll be flying out to the left of this large ridge here and to the right of this one, heading out this direction before turning south. Our course to Adak is about 240 heading to start off with, so I've got heading mode set up on that heading. And this is Kodiak on a very nice day. We're not supposed to have as nice weather at Adak. It is forecast to remain VFR. So we have a fairly good reserve, but not as much as if it were worse weather. We'll take a look at the route and the approach here further on. Take a look back inside again. So actually, there is an ILS approach to Adak. FMC has it. However, the charts have not been updated yet. So I've got the Arnav approach for runway 23 presently in Abtab. On a previous flight to Adak, the ILS did come up. The FMC had auto-tuned it, but it did it fairly late. So I actually didn't use it. If it comes up earlier today, we certainly will. I'm going to just go back here to where we want to be. On this side, we want to be on the takeoff page for our speeds, 120, 121, 135. Here's our course, our first fix. This is Cold Bay VOR. This is Dutch Harbor VOR. This is Lanark, the first feeder transition fix to the approach itself. These are the fixes on the approach and eventually to runway 23. So what I did last time without actually having actual numbers, I just used on the descent in Adak these numbers here, 6,900 feet at TQ to Q, and then down to 2,500 feet after Salsi down to Gidkey, and then held that to Kabam, and then initiated a VFR descent from 1,500 feet down to the runway. Excuse me, the ILS did become active. I don't remember exactly where, somewhere in here. It was kind of late. I was already on a manual flight, so that's when I had made the landing. We'll see if that is any different today. We'll look at that on the chart after we get airborne. So I'm going to go ahead and advise the cabin crew that we're ready for departure. The way you do that is in this aircraft, you just let the wing light switch on, and then our flight crew member makes the announcement back in the cabin.
Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff, please.
And then she should come up and tell us cabin secure.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
Thank you, you too. Alrighty. So let's get the chronometer started. It's 7:11 local time. So we and do believe, yeah, we're looking good. No anti-ice is necessary. We have window heat and pedostatic heat on. That's about it. So let's get out of Dodge here. So I'll be increasing power here to somewhere around 40 or 50%. Engine stabilize. And although I'm not going to prolong it very much because we've got some climbing here to do. Okay, it sounds good.
Approaching 19.
Initiate takeoff thrust to hit the back button here, which then commands it. So N1 is commanded, heading select is active, and VNAV is active.
V1 rotate.
Got that volume up a little too high.
Positive rate.
Gear up, flaps 2.
$400.
That's the call out for LNAV, but the LNAV doesn't want to arm yet. It's commanding 155. I'm not sure why, unless it's flaps. Let's get the flaps up. And now it's commanded 230. Okay, we're just at flaps 1 speed. Let's take a look from the tower, see if they can still see us. Nope, we're gone. Okay, almost flaps up speed. I'm going to lower the nose a little bit. Okay, anchorage center wants us to turn to 240 on the heading, which I'm going to do. Oops, a little too far. It's pretty darn close to our LNAV course. Let's get back to that heading. Okay, then we're flaps up speed, so flaps up, gear off. And most likely go ahead and activate LNAV. I'm going to go ahead and arm the activate the autopilot, which will now command heading select. N1 is showing on our power channel here. On the PFD, heading select is in command of our lateral course. VNAV is in control of our vertical channel. So it has commanded 250 knots. Below 10,000. And we have another goofy message from the FMC. I have no clue why it says that. We have 17,000 pounds of fuel in the wing tanks and still have about 2,100 pounds in the center tanks. So we'll get a reminder. I love this aircraft, but I tell you, sometimes it really gets frustrating. Like why it's doing this right now, I have no clue. In fact, I think I might disengage everything and then try arming everything again. But for now, it has now commanded our econ climb speed 285 knots.
Stretch your legs at that time. As we do ask while you're in your seat, then you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times in case we do encounter any unexpected clear turbulence. And for everyone's safety, please make sure that all your personal belongings are free to clear the aisle. You can now use all approved personal electronic devices. We'll be serving a variety of complimentary drinks as well as select beer and wine. In addition, there are other alcoholic beverages for purchase. Now we'd like you to sit back, relax, and enjoy our service on tonight's flight. Anything we can do to make you enjoyable, please don't hesitate to call upon us. Thank you.
I just like listening to those cabin announcements. No kidding. All right, I'm going to disconnect autopilot here, and I'm going to turn off auto throttle. I'm turn off heading select, and kind of Let things settle here for a minute and then reactivate. In fact, I should be able to now arm LNAV when we re-engage everything. It's almost like it's not engaging yaw damper, which should smooth out. It's like it thinks there's some sort of turbulence going on, and yaw damper is not doing its thing. All right, I'm going to get us back a little closer to the course. The magenta line on the ND there is our direct course to our first fix. Oh, didn't turn off VNAV. I'm going to disarm VNAV as well. So which automatically commands vertical speed. Right now it's 2,500 feet a minute. Coming up on flight level 180. Going to go ahead and click on the standard button here. Okay, we're about halfway on our climb to flight level 390. FMC recommended 40,000 or above, so 39 is applicable to our direction of flight. So we'll see how that does performance-wise. All right, let's go ahead and I'm going to rearm auto throttle and the flight directors. Oh, actually, I forgot to turn those off. Okay, now they're on. Both sides. Yep, there's LNAV. There's VNAV. And autopilot. Oh, oops. I'm going to put that disengage button. Okay, it looks like it's going to go ahead and intercept LNAV. Very nicely. It's following. Oh, it's still going to do it. Oh, that's frustrating. I did do is after the aircraft was started, I actually turned off and back on the electric hydraulic pumps, and maybe that's what threw a curve into the works here. And the reason for doing that is because I've had problems with both braking and parking brake working properly. So I turned off the electric pumps, turned them back on again. And hopefully that would clear out any gremlins, but apparently we created some by doing that. I don't know. I don't know what's causing this yaw action. I could try turning off the yaw damper, I guess. Maybe with the hydraulic pumps off, this had to be recycled. I don't know. Nope, that's not it. Well, we're up to 412 knots now over the ground. N1 is being commanded for the power channel. We are LNAV is flying for us, and the lateral channel VNAV's in control of our climb. So let's take a look at our Econ Climb page here, the legs page on this side. So right now the numbers in magenta are active. We are going to flight level 390. 285 knots are being commanded, and that should change to Mach speeds. We get a little higher. Top of climb now is 41 nautical miles. Estimating is 0427. And we'll take an initial look at our progress page. This is our last waypoint. This is our current waypoint. Distance to them, estimated time of arrival at these fixes, and the fuel on board estimated. So top of climb is 0427. ADAC estimating 0612 at present speed, and of course that'll decrease as we get leveled off and get cruise powers set up. That's estimating 10,000 pounds of fuel at ADAC, which should be pretty adequate for our arrival. So 0427 to the top of climb, 0612 to our destination. So we're about 6 minutes, 5 minutes from the top of climb, which is now depicted on the ND. Okay, we should be getting pretty good speeds here because we're already at 443 on our ground speed, and we're still climbing at 2,500 feet a minute. Okay, now has commanded Mach speed of 0.75, and actually it's probably going to go up a little bit. The actual number is Mach 7.59. Let's bring our ski out here a little bit. There's our first fix, Banal. And estimating, estimating ADAC looks like just under 2 hours from our present location, our present speed. I'm hoping for 460, maybe 470. I'm going up higher than I went the last time I did this trip. So, of course, our indicated airspeed decreases as we climb. Mach speeds and ground speeds will increase. Excuse me, Mach speeds will increase. Well, this bugs me, but I really don't want to discontinue and start over again because of this. Just going to have to write it out. So let's take a look at the route here. So this is Navigraph's high en route IFR chart. Is our departure point of Kodiak. We are en route to Banal. And actually, I'm going to do, I forgot to do this in the FMC. Actually, let's see, is this J15? That's Cold Bay. Okay, so we're joining Jet Route J115 when we get to Cold Bay VOR, but I'm going to do, well, actually, see, Dutch Harbor is down here. That might save a little bit of time. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and take Cold Bay out of the route. And saving more time, we could bring Dutch Harbor here up to our active waypoint. And it's not that large a deal. So looking at the Arnav approach, which I don't anticipate.
1,000
to go confirmed. Which I do not think we'll have to do. It's good guidance for getting to the airport. You can see there's a run 229 heading from this fixed Wari inbound, which takes you pretty much straight in. The airport and the runway 23 is just right on the edge of the water. If the FMC does tune and we have the ILS active, but actually it's pretty cool. You actually come down on the other side of this mountainous area here and just go it's just straight in. It's really nice. So we'll see. Okay, so that was about 16-minute climb to flyable 390. That's pretty darn good. All right, come on, speeds. We want to see a little greater speeds. I was hoping for at least greater than 450. Well, I did select. I selected our no restrictions on takeoff power because taking off around that ridge, wanted everything we had going. I did set climb 1 or 10% reduction on climb power. So and even with that, we still got to altitude in 16 minutes. It's pretty good. Well, looks like we're not going to get better than 445 knots. So it looks like FMC is now commanded Mach 0.78. So we'll get our well, that's interesting. Our FMC is going to go to the cruise page, but it's now estimating ADAC at 0616, so that's about 5 minutes less. We have 700 miles to the top of descent. It's 0556. 0556, so that's about an hour and, well, it's under an hour, about an hour and 28 minutes down. Yeah, phooey. I was hoping for a little better, better ground speed. Okay, Banal is our next waypoint, and estimating 0501, about 32 minutes, 232 miles to it. So getting back to the, so 0616. So we're what, about 13 minutes less than 2 hours. About an hour and 40 some odd minutes to our destination. Okay, we're getting just about used up all the fuel in the center tank. And when it has expelled, we'll get a fuel light here with a master caution once it goes out. And the remedy is just to simply turn the fuel pumps off for the center tanks. All right, let's go to the cruise page, our current phase of flight. So once again, 390 is the magenta, it's active. Mach 0.776 is being commanded. Here's our top of descent is 0556, 691 miles to it. FMC is now calculated 9,000 pounds of fuel, which is about an hour and 15 minutes of reserve. So I'm pretty happy with that. Optimal, it's calculated flyable 400. And that's what I saw during the pre-flight, so that's why I selected 390 for our cruise altitude. Well, this kind of thing bothers me, why this is happening. I mean, this thing flies so nice. I love this aircraft. Zibo is just a genius on what he puts together. But I have no clue why it's doing this, except for the fact that I turned off the hydraulic pumps, electric hydraulic pumps, after the aircraft has started. So that's, I don't know. I'll chalk it off to that for now. Okay, we just got the fuel light here. We have expanded the fuel in the center tanks. So I'm going to go ahead and the overhead here, and that's why we're seeing low pressure here. So I'm going to turn off the fuel pumps, and that will remedy the light. Oh, and I should do a level off cruise message here.
gentlemen from the flight deck. We've reached our cruising altitude. Looks like we are anticipating on-time arrival. You're going to head and turn off the seatbelt at this time. Just remember, if you are in your seats, keep your seatbelts fastened in case we do experience any unexpected turbulence by the flight. And anything we can do to make your ride, so let a member of the crew know.
Okay. What I'm going to do is go ahead and pause the recording, and we'll pick it up somewhere on our descent, top of descent, or descent in the Adak, and we'll have updated weather at that time. We'll see how it's going to go. And as we get closer in, we'll be tuning in the iNet ref page, will takes us direct to the approach ref page. So we'll see what our speeds are at our flaps, various flap choices, as well as we'll see if it has auto-tuned the localizer. Okay, we'll talk within about an hour and 20 minutes or so. Okay, we have started our descent in the Adak. We're about about 13 or 14 minutes from one of the fixes on the approach, which is TQ, and I'm going to go ahead and add some spoilers here. And once again, the FMC is planning to do the ILS. There are no published charts, so what I'm going to do is what I did last time. I'm just going to observe these altitudes. The bugaboo is that the weather is a little worse than it was in Kodiak. We can expect about 1,800-foot ceiling with 10 miles visibility. Temperatures about 1 degrees centigrade, so about 34, with light precipitation. So I'm gonna, right now we've got this in the MCP for our altitude. I'll be then setting 6,200 feet, 2,500 feet, and eventually 1,500 feet. And then we'll see how soon and if the FMC will tune the ILS. So I'm going to go to the iNet ref page. So our gross landing weight will be 105,900 pounds. I'm going to use 30 degrees of flaps for landing. Click it once to select it. Click it again to bring it down here. It'll then be displayed on the airspeed tape on the PFD. So this is the frequency of, I've had to look high and low for this information, but this is this did come alive last time I did this approach in the Anchorage or in the Adak, but it was late enough to where it really didn't do much good. So, but this all is correct information as far as I know. So once again, I'm just going to be using these altitudes in our descent and let VNAV take us on down, and hopefully we'll get visual and to proceed direct to the runway. We have the Arnav approach for backup, but one thing I think I will do is I'm going to stay on autopilot and let the see if it'll track the localizer properly. We can pick it up early enough. Okay, I need to do a descent message here. So we're leaving flight level 270 right now. I still have econ descent speed still commanded, and I still have this back and forth yaw. I just don't know. This has happened before, and I don't remember what may have instigated it, but that's such as life. So here's our VREF 126 with 30 degrees of flaps indicated now on our airspeed tape. And as we do slow down and get down to these speeds, it'll then start displaying as the current speed. So we are proceeding to Lanark, which is the initial fix on the feeder route into the approach. And the scaling a little bit. So the fix is, it's pretty nice. I mean, if we let LNAV just fly to these fixes, it puts us in a very good position to go straight into runway 23. So we have a good backup if we don't get ILS information in time. And we'll see that here on the upper portion left above the horizon here. On the PFD, it'll show the ILS and the identifier and the frequency, I do believe. So we're 20 miles to Lanark, leaving flight level 220. And this is nice. I'm glad, even though we don't have published procedure for this ILS, the ILS into ADAC is, I mean, it's, you know, we're almost on the inbound course right now. We're 244 and heading to the Lanark, but by the time we make the turns on these intermediate fixes, we end up pretty much aligned right with the runway. So 6,900 feet is hard altitude, have to be at or above at TICU. So I've got that set on the MCP. 229 is set on the course. I'm actually going to change this. It's actually 236 for the ILS, and I'm going to set 229 on the heading bug, because if we do anything other for backup, the Arnav approach calls for heading on 229 after the last fix on the last fix on the Arnav approach, just in case. Okay, we're coming up on 50180, and we need to go to local pressure. It would help if I hit the right knob here. And local pressure is 3009. No, it's not what I want. Come on. It's to be a hassle with dual knobs here. Oh, there we go. Now we have the right indicator there. So now it's at local pressure is 3009. Okay. So I'm not sure what to expect from the weather. You know, I did change it for the approach. But right now I'm not seeing the layers I did put in, but the only actually technical ceiling is the lowest one. And here again, I'm expecting about 1,800 foot ceiling with 10 miles visibility. Oh, in fact, I was going to turn on some anti-icing here, but that might not be a bad idea here. Especially the engine anti-ice. Well, let's see if the wing anti-ice stays on. Change the view from the cabin. Huh. I almost thought that this back and forth yawing had ceased and desisted, but based on what I saw from the cabin, but not the case. All right, so we should be seeing here a fairly aggressive move by VNAV here to start slowing down for the 250 speed restriction at 10,000. And it looks like it's going to do it a little bit on the late side here. I'm coming up on 10,600 now because we have started that reduction of speed. Right now the chronometer says we're 2 hours and 2 minutes into the flight. Time is 9:14 local. So once we get a point in the right direction, the runway itself is kind of difficult to see. It's right on the, I don't know, maybe 100 feet in down from the shore of whatever body of water that is, with 10 miles visibility and with LNAV directing us. Hopefully it will be successful. About 3,000 feet to go to our first altitude at Tico, which is 9 miles from our present location, 2 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll be above 69 by the time we get to that fix. So I'm going to go ahead and set 62, which is the next hard altitude at Salsi. We're in the range in here a little bit. Okay, so it's slowing us down very nicely to 240. I'll be adding some flaps here shortly. FMC responds very responsively to flaps as far as speeds. So right now, 240 knots, we're okay. Well, in fact, this beat me to the punch. It's already commanded 189 knots. So looking at the descent page here, so 0617. We go to the progress page. Okay, it's estimating ADAC is 0626. Which is 10 minutes from now. So I'm going to go ahead and do prepare for landing check. And we'll hear a nice little spiel from cabin attendant here.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we begin our ground for landing, may I ask you to take this opportunity to restow any cabin luggage and amenities during the flight. In just a few moments, the flight attendants will be coming through to collect all remaining service items. Please assist your flight attendants by bringing all seat backs upright, returning tray tables in their secure position, and double check the security of your seatbelt. At this time, all electronic devices must be turned off and stowed. Thank you.
1,000 to go.
1,000 to go, confirmed. Well, I can't any more drag. The spoilers are out as far as they'll go. It's slowing nicely down to our speed. So, and the Salsi is our next fix at 62, which it knows about, and it will hold. I'm not sure why it wants to drag. We're actually well below the VPI, vertical path indicator, although VNAV says we're doing great on our descent. So once again, our VREF is 126. I like the VREF plus 20 or so until fairly short final, then we'll just simply reduce the power to slow down our speed for landing. So we should get an increase in power here to hold the speed because we're right at FMC command and speed, and yes, here the power is coming in to hold that speed. So I'm going to go ahead and set now 2500 in the MCP, which is our next hard altitude. It's my Myers parrot. She's just woke up from a nap. All right, I'm going to bring the spoilers back up and go ahead and start bringing some flaps out. It'll probably get a reaction from the FMC. I'm going to add flaps 2 for now. And yes, now it's reduced our command speed to 169, which is fine. Oh, I'll be darned, look at that. It's tuned, auto-tuned the ILS. I have no idea whether or not if the ILS has DME or not, but we're on a pretty good heading right now. Our course is 277. Okay, we're heading down to 2500. I actually got a little earlier than expected. I'm going to switch the ND display to approach mode. We can still see our LNAV track. Localizer is coming in. I'll be darned. I'm going to go and activate localizer and start tracking that Hummer. And we're a high based on what the glide slope's telling us. So I'm going to add some more flaps here. I'm going to go flaps 15. Slow us down. See if we can catch the glide slope. Yep, glide slope's coming up, so I'm going to go ahead and arm the full approach. We should now see glide slope armed, which it is. LNAV is still in command, it looks like, even though it looks like we are tracking a localizer. We're just coming up on glide slope. Intercept.
1,000 to go.
1,000 to go, Roger confirmed. And actually, I don't know what, I don't have any approach weight, so I don't know what a bits approach altitude is. I do know that ADAC is about 70 feet MSL, so I'm just going to bring our altitude reminder down to 300, and I'm going to set. It's interesting. It looks like we're pretty darn close to both. I don't know why it's not showing localizer capture. I'm going to go ahead and set 200 on our minimums here, if I can get to it. Set 200. Come on. Okay, 2,500 feet. AGL. Well, I'm not sure what's. Oh, okay. Localizer is off. So I'm pretty sure. Let's get the gear down and go flaps 15. That is the runway off to our right. So I'm not sure. I think got some electronics here all confused. So I'm going to go on heading mode for right now and get us turning over towards the runway. And, oops. Yeah, shoot. I don't know. That sounded kind of goofy there. Okay, I'm going to disconnect auto throttle. In fact, autopilot's disconnected. It gives us, it should give us some airspeed control. Okay, it's slowing down. Yes, I know autopilot's disconnected. I know auto throttle's disconnected. Thank you. Well, we've got nice visibility here. And a little fast on our speed. So I'm not sure what happened. Actually, according with the ND showing, the ND looks like it's displaying localizer information pretty accurately. So let's see, re-ref plus about 10 right now. Let's get some more flaps. That's 25. We need one more notch of flaps. Gear on the high side, according to what the VAS side is showing, and that's fine. Rather be on the high side than low. Okay, a little bit of power.
Feet stabilized, Mr. Bridge altitude set.
Too high.
Yeah, roger that. I'm not. Yeah, we are slightly high, but see, that looks really accurate. In fact, the glide slope looks accurate.
Approaching 2, 3.
Because we, you know, the VAS side is saying we're high.
Too high.
Yes, thank you, XRAS. Yeah, looks like we have accurate information. Okay, we're right at VREF. I'd like to go a little faster. And the weather looks to be a little better than expected. Come on, power. Okay, a little slow. Thank you. Continue. Okay, power is being reduced. Okay.
5,000 feet remaining.
Okay, let's get some reversers in.
4,000 remaining.
A little bit of rudder action.
Eighty knots.
80 knots, roger. Brakes are being applied. And thrust reverse canceled. Release the brakes. Let's keep moving here. Here's our after landing.
Seatbelt sign. At that time, please check your engine seating area for all your personal belongings brought on board in the day. And use caution when opening the overhead compartment. Thanks for flying us today. Hope you had a pleasant experience. We look forward to serving you again. Thank you, and have a pleasant afternoon.
All right, we're actually a little bit, we're pretty far down. I might have to do a U-turn here. Not too many taxiways. In fact, I am going to have to do a turn, taxi back. So, let's get that started. I don't think there's a taxiway here at the end. Let's go outside and take a look. I don't see one. We have to, we'll back taxi on the other runway, which is 36 and 18. So let's see, I like turning left to right, so let's slow down just a little bit. The PNF is helping me stay on track here. As soon as we get the aircraft turning around, I'll let him start cleaning up. Well, this is a lot better weather than I expected. Yeah, it's good enough. A bit of power, help us in the turn.
On runway 5.
Okay, so let's begin by getting the flaps up. Yeah, it'll be nice to get the published plate here. And yeah, I don't know what the confusion was. The approach should have taken over from LNAV because the LNAV was taking us in a direction I didn't want to go. So flaps are up. Let's get the lights off. These are 2 position switches. These are just 1. Get these lights off. Let's go back. Check our taxi. Okay, working good. Okay, I think I want to
Approach.
Let me slow down here. Yeah, okay. I want to taxi across 1-6 and, or 3-6 and 1-8 over this taxiway. Then we'll hang a right down to the terminal. So we still need to get some more lights off and get the APU running. Whoop. So you got a straight stretch here. So let's lighting our logo light will leave on and get the strobes off. Go steady for the nav lights. Any collision need to stay on. Turn the wing lights off and get the APU going. Turn it on, wait for the low pressure light. Just illuminate it so I can actually turn on the APU. There it goes. And let's get back to center line. This is our PAX view. When Myers parrots, she gets vocal when she's pretty happy. She's eating her food, so she's a happy camper. Okay, I'm going to set parking brake here momentarily, and let's take a look at that approach, see what it looks like. Okay, yeah, it's when I did this before, when I did not try to activate ILS, the LNAV really took me pretty close to straight in. You can see, I'm not sure what happened here, or whether or not, I never saw the localizer actually become active, but it sure looked good on the ND. But I'm really surprised the weather looks this good. I expected a lot worse. Okay, let's get over in front. Huh. Okay, let's go take a look at that from a passenger standpoint. Just a couple miles out. Well, there are a lot of gray skies in Alaska, and at least we have the gray skies. Been last few flights to Kodiak, and actually the last trip I did here to Adak was nice and clear. Nice VP. It's my Myers. She just finished a little snack. She came over to visit me on my shoulder. Who's that? He. Nice VP. Well, I guess I could have started this a little further on. I'm getting close now. So this is my Alaska Taurus flight, part 6, from Kodiak to Adak, 900 mile some odd trip. I like to watch from passenger view, obviously. Come on. Here we go. The spoilers. Oh, the spoilers didn't activate. I must have, when I brought them up, or brought them down. Oh, there they go. Okay. I thought I left them on armed position. Okay, let's go back to real time. So we need to taxi about as far the other direction as you can go to get to the terminal. And that's plenty fast. A little bit of power. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn off the flight directors. That's interesting. Yeah, I think there's some gremlins running around in the electronics today, right from the get-go, with that darn pitching. But the FMC is not tuned any other frequency other than ILS. That's why we still see it active. But you usually get pretty much a blank screen on the FMC, but then a message saying that end of flight, which you have to clear. I'm not seeing that, and we're still on the descent page on the other side of the FMC. So it looks like our flight time. Oh, I forgot to check when we touched down, but only a few minutes back from our present time. So that's about 2 hour and 15 minute off and on time, and maybe 2 hours 30-minute block. It's pretty good. We were averaging 440, I think it was 445 knot ground speed. So let's see, we need to go over to our left. This building right there at our 10 o'clock, I've actually watched it. That's actually there at this airport. So it's kind of nice to see a real effort to, make it look as close to what the real thing is. There's more activity than is shown, but that building is there, and the tower is still there. That looks like some sort of container, grain container of some sort is there. So here we are at Adak. I've got some utilities that I use to help improve the inherent fog and haze that gets displayed. So the mountains look pretty good. I just, as I said, I expected more of a ceiling. We should have broken out about 1,800. But we were pretty much visual, I don't know, about 5,000 feet down. So, which is where it is. So Alaska Airlines announced arrival flight 738, service from Kodiak and Anchorage. And I just watched Alaska flight years ago when they were flying the 737-200, a number of years ago. I'm sure, well, I know, they retired the 37-200 back in 2007. So I'm pretty sure they're up to at least the 737-700 on flights like this with a lower PAX loading, but I don't know for sure, but they're definitely active with the 800 series and the 900 series up here in Alaska. So I'm gonna just mosey on up here, trying to get back to that line. And see if we don't scare the ramper that should be there. Okay, we need to park pretty much right where that line starts to turn, just before it does turn, which is about right here. So brakes are set. Let's get the APU generators online. Takes the engine-driven generators offline. Let's go ahead and get the fasten seatbelt signs off. And yeah, we had all wing anti-ice and engine anti-ice remained on, even though I don't think we needed it. And engine anti-ice is going off. Electrical hydraulic pumps go off. Left pack stays on. Right pack goes off. Leave that on auto, I should say. And APU bleed goes on. Let's turn off the anti-collision light. Those lights stay good. Those are all good. And we'll turn off the wing tank fuel pumps, or the main tanks. And that's going to just about do it. We do have to do in the Zibo mod here is we have to go terminate the flight leg before the doors will open. That should get the people active. Alright, so we should be able to open the doors. Let's go ahead and start bringing the ground handling folks up. Oh. Actually, I probably went too far. I can see. Okay, I'm gonna get the doors open. It's always kind of interesting to see if I did everything right here. If I didn't, doors, nope, see they're still showing locked. There's something in the shutdown I have not done. See if I can find it. Let's see here. These lights are all off. This has happened before, and the reason why it would not, there's still showing pressurization, because I did not go to the box over there and terminate the flight leg. But I am not seeing. Let's see. Internal power needs to go to the generator, APU generator. I've got all this off. The pack is on. APU bleed is on. The lights are off. Well, I'm not seeing why. This all looks correct. No, not gonna be able to open the doors. Dadgummit. Well, I'm gonna chalk it up to the electronics not working right, because we have definitely gotten some odd things happening on this trip. Well, let's see. Shock's already. The ground handling actually sets shock. Let's go ahead and set shocks and see if that does the trick. Nope. Still showing locked. I do not know why. Yeah, because all these things that you would do normal shutdown are required before the doors will depressurize so you can open them. And this is all off. Well, we'll have to figure that out. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. And we'll just pretend the doors are open. Here we are at Adak. It's a good flight. We had some snafus in electronics, but other than that, good flight, got here safely. So I'm going to bid you all adieu. Thanks so much for watching. Appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the video. And our next flight's going to be from Adak here. Not back to Kodiak, which was our departure point coming here, but we're going to take the flight here from Adak to King Salmon, which is a little bit to the north and west of Kodiak. So I think it's going to be a little longer of a trip, maybe closer to 1,000 miles. I'm not sure, but I have not flight planned that out yet, so we'll find out. Okay. Take care, and we'll talk with you on the next recording, the next flight. Bye-bye.